was visiting my dad in Italy and seeing a lovely cute Fiat 500 driving by gave me an idea. Why not buy one and drive it back to the UK?
Can you believe it? I'm in a little Fiat 500. I'm so excited. I've bought this car. It's not been as easy as I thought. All the Italian bureaucracy was pretty unbelievable. In the end, I couldn't buy it the way I wanted and put it in my name. I had to put it in my dad's name. They've made it quite hard for foreigners to buy cars here, so it's been a bit of a nightmare. But that's all done now. It's called Sofia. The guy who sold it to me named it after his daughter. It's really, really exciting. It's such good fun, and this is the first drive. I've literally just given him the money and I'm going to take it home to Dad's house. So here we go. So I saw about 6 500s in the end. This was the very first one I saw. It's been restored, it's in pretty good condition, and I think it's by far the best one out of all the ones I've seen. There was another car, oh, you can hear it. There was another car which was pretty good, and it had the engine from a Fiat 126, so the 600cc engine with the 126 gearbox, and that drove really, really well. But it had only been painted 2 years ago, and there was some rust coming through on one of the sills, which I thought was a really bad sign. So I decided to go for this car, which looks really, really clean. And I don't know, it just, you know, when you see a car and you just think it's got to be that one, well, that's what happened. It was the first one. Some of the others I saw, a couple of them were unrestored, which is nice. They really had, they all had rust issues. They all felt a little bit iffy. This one looks like it's had a lot of bits changed, like it's in good nick, and I've got to drive it up to the UK in the next few days. So it's quite important, you know, that I got something that had some work done to it. As nice as an original unrestored car is, it's a little bit difficult to think that, you know, probably the clutch hasn't been done for God knows how long, and brakes haven't been looked at, starter motors, all the bits basically, they're all old. They're all just sort of being done as and when needed, as opposed to sort of in a car like this where a lot of that stuff has been changed. Bloody hell. So apart from all this gearbox crunching, which hopefully I'll get used to sorting out, this appeared to be a good choice. The seller seemed like a really nice guy. Got a picture here that you can see. We're both smiling. Hopefully I'll still be smiling in a few days. I'm going to show you a few really neat design touches that this car has. And although it's really simple, I mean, it's turning out to be way more luxurious than I expected. So, you want heat? Here you go. All you got to do, go here, there's a little switch, car's rear engine, so the heat comes from the back. Admittedly not the latest in ergonomics, but still. Turn that flap, heat goes up through the transmission tunnel, and then up to these vents. There's one on each side. And normally that's open like that and you get hot air coming into the cabin. If you want, if it's winter and so on, there's even a demist function, so you close that off and then the air comes up through these vents here. Fantastic and really simple. Next thing that I found, there's a little hand throttle. It's basically cruise control. So you pull that and I don't know if you can see there, the throttle moves. So when I'm going through France and so on, I have basically got cruise control. That's just unbelievable. Brilliant. This little nipple is basically just a rubber diaphragm. And when you press it, you get water on the screen. Maybe I'm more excited about that than I should be. Also, something that I definitely wasn't expecting is the mirror, so sophisticated, it even has a little courtesy light, which you could just see there. Map reading and so on at night. The car really has everything. Okay, so I've worked out the overall journey from San Remo to London. It's 1,500 kilometres more or less. That's about 950 miles. I think it's going to take me 4 days. So on day one, I'm going to go from San Remo through Monaco to Nice, then up to Grasse, then take the Rue de Napoléon northwards, which is an amazing road, and then stop off in Grenoble. I think that's about 400 kilometres, something like that. Then day two, from Grenoble, I'm going to go northwards to close to Paris, well, between Paris and Reims, a place called Chateau Thierry. I'm going to go through Chablis, famous for its wine, and it's going to be quite a long day, I think, because that's 550 kilometres that I'm going to try and do, so it's going to take me a while. Then the next day, it's going to be a shorter day, 300 kilometres, and I'm going to get to Calais, close to Calais, stay somewhere nice around there. And then on day 4, take the ferry and back in Britain and go to London, go to Westminster, try and get some shots somehow of going around Big Ben.
As much as I had faith in Sofia, I wanted to make sure I had as complete an emergency kit as possible. So you can see what I put together here. On top of that, I did some preventative maintenance, so changed the oil, distributor cap, and so on. You can see the results with the oil here. I know used engine oil is always really dirty, but check this stuff out. I think it's a good job I did this oil change, because that just looks pretty disgusting. So everything's ready, and me and Sofia are both raring to go. To see how the trip went, please click on the link at the top of the page. See you soon.